Hello everyone, it's ladybburke here. It's Monday, it's February, the month of love. I just want to remind everybody to make sure that you show love to that special someone in your life every single day, not just on February 14th, but make sure you share that every day of this month and for the rest of the year. Today I wanted to talk about the number one dispute between tenants and landlords. And this has always been the dispute from the beginning of time, and that is their security deposit and charges. How do you get that back? It was actually my mother that suggested making a blog about maintaining your apartment, how important it is to keep it clean. And so I thought that was a really good idea, and I wanted to thank my mom for making that suggestion. So that is going to be the focus of this video. If anybody else has any other suggestions or topics that you want me to focus on, please leave a comment below and let me know. So, your security deposit. You want it back, of course. If you're a tenant watching this, you want all your money back. How do you get it back? Basically, it starts way before you move out, and that has to do with maintaining your apartment. Now, I have been in this business for a really long time, and I understand that there is different concepts of what is clean and what is not. What may be clean to me may not be clean to somebody else, or vice versa. So I will say this to keep it easy. If I were to move into a new apartment today, I would expect that apartment to be clean. And by this, I mean the floors have been mopped, the carpet has been shampooed. When I open the refrigerator or the oven, it is not greasy and dirty, no food stains. When I go into the bedrooms or the bathroom, there's not pee stains on the toilet. The shower doesn't look like it hasn't been cleaned. That's what any tenant would expect when they move in. They want everything to be clean so that they can just move in and set up house. Well, that is very true in the reverse. When you move out, your landlord expects you to leave it clean, and not according to what you think cleanliness is okay, but according to what is expected by law. If by law I move into an apartment and it is not cleaned, I can go to the landlord and say, hey, is there any way I can get a rent credit? Because you just gave me keys. I paid you my first month's rent security deposit, and that apartment isn't cleaned, right? So, and a lot of landlords will work with you. A lot of landlords will say, I'm so sorry, I don't know what happened. We'll give you 1 day rent credit if you want to clean your own apartment, or I can send someone right now to clean it. Well, if a tenant moves out, gives me keys and says, okay, here you go, I moved out of my apartment, and I go and inspect the unit and it is not clean, the landlord has every right to charge you for cleaning your apartment. The number one question I get is, yeah, but does this apply if I lived in the apartment for 10 years? And the answer is yes. There is no such thing as normal wear and tear when it comes to cleanliness of your apartment. You could be there for 3 months, a year, or 10 years, and you still have to leave the apartment clean when you move out. So as I explained, clean means the floors have been mopped. When your landlord opens the refrigerator and the oven, there should be no no grease stains everywhere. Your refrigerator should look nice. There shouldn't be mold that you left there, because a lot of times I've done that. I open the fridge and there's mold everywhere. They've never reported it. They just left it there. I have seen toilets that are black because the tenant not once ever cleaned that apartment while they were living there. I have seen crayon marks all over the walls from tenants that have children, and there is markings all over the walls, and I know they're kids because the marking only goes like halfway up to the wall. You cannot, of course, think that a landlord is not going to charge you for cleanliness, but a lot of tenants get really upset when they get their deposit back and see that they've been charged, $150, depending on how dirty it was and size of the unit, to $300. The best way to avoid that When you know you're moving out, contact your landlord and say, can I please have a pre-move out inspection? Okay? A pre-move out inspection. And what that means is the landlord will go meet with you at a time that's convenient for you and the landlord. And this landlord will walk the unit and will let you know what things you need to do before you move out so that you don't get charged. Here's another example. This day and age with the big flat screen TVs, everyone puts those wall mounts for the TVs, which leaves a really big hole in the wall. Then landlord is within his right to say you need to have that patched or we'll charge you. Another example is when people paint a room pink, purple. One apartment that I inspected, they actually painted a chalkboard on the wall, left it black, chalk writings all over it. They were charged for us having to prime, and it usually takes several coats of prime and painting it to restore it to its original condition. You're going to be charged for that. So to save yourself a lot of headaches, meet with your landlord before you leave. Give yourself time. 2 weeks is strongly recommended. So 2 weeks before you move out, meet with your landlord, have them walk the apartment with you and have them tell you and give it to you in writing what things you could potentially be charged for once you move out. This will save a lot of hassle, a lot of frustration when you get your deposit back. In my experience, when I have done this with tenants and they've actually listened, they have always gotten their deposit back in full. There has been times when I have done that and tenants move out and they do not clean the apartment. They left that room or wall painted. They left personal belongings inside the apartment. And now we have to charge for prime and painting, for cleaning, and for removal of personal belongings. There goes your deposit. So from the very beginning when you move in, you need to treat that apartment or home that you could be renting like it is your own, like you own this home. It's your home, and what condition would you want it in if your tenant moved out? That's how you should leave it. It should be maintained and cleaned at all times. If your landlord is doing annual inspections, keep your apartment clean. Think about it. If you've been a tenant for a really long time, 5, 6, 7 years, and you keep your apartment clean and you want new carpet, you know what your landlord's going to do? They're going to say, you know what? Apartment number B, their apartment is always clean. They always pay their rent on time. They're wonderful tenants. It's cheaper to replace the carpet than it is to have a vacancy. So you know what? I'm going to do that. But if you never clean your apartment is always, well, really dirty, filthy even, sometimes I've seen, and you ask for new carpet, the landlord is not going to give you new carpet. The only time a landlord is required by law, and you can look this up on the California Apartment Association website, the only time a landlord is obligated by law to replace your carpet is if it is a safety or health hazard. If there is mold in the carpet, or your carpet is just so old that it's actually pulling up and you're tripping over it, or there's nails sticking up, okay, then the landlord has to replace the carpet. But if you just don't keep your apartment clean and you want new carpet, it's not going to happen. So that's my suggestion to anyone out there who is a tenant. Please make your life easier and keep your apartment clean. If you don't expect to receive your security deposit in full. If you can honestly say that you have left your apartment clean, there was no property damages, you didn't take anything from the apartment, because people do that, and you didn't leave any personal belongings behind, and you still were charged and you feel like you were charged unfairly, there are things that you can do to fight and get that back. And that could probably be my next video. What are some things that you can do? How to dispute a security deposit charge? What's the policy and procedures according to law? But for now, that I would say that's it. Just keep your apartment clean, be a good tenant, pay your rent on time, so that when the time comes for you to request for new carpet, I'm pretty sure your property manager would be happy to get that done for you. All right, that's it for now. If you have any other suggestions on topics you want to hear, please leave me a comment below. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up, I'm sorry, and subscribe. Thank you so much.